Among every world, among every timeline, among everything you can imagine in different worlds, people are there to guide you through stories, guide you through timelines. Welcome to the Blue Mask What If channel. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask here and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys will enjoy this video. And I play Pokemon in the background, Leaf Green by the way, in the background, so hope you guys will enjoy this and let's begin. Now, where we last left off, we found out that Percy Jackson, aka you know who I'm talking about, is a demigod found and has been told by Zelda Uzumaki, Annabeth Chase, and Grover Underwood, his friends and one of his teachers. Now it's been a day since the talk, and Percy Jackson has been expelled for being a little pulling off a good prank that got him expelled. That's a lie they made up, but everyone believes it's because of the mist. Right now, all four of them is heading towards the Jackson house. Well, the Jackson house where, Sally Jackson is. Percy was sitting in the right side of the car. I don't know exactly what year Percy Jackson is based on. I thought it was in the 2005s. But it could be in the 99. I don't understand where Percy actually falls on what year it starts in. So if you know about that, please tell me. Anyways, Percy was sitting at the window and Annabeth Chase was sitting in the middle of the car. She looked over at Percy, seeing his look outside. She got a little worried and touched his shoulder. "Are you okay, Percy?" Yeah, I'm fine. I just don't know what's going on anymore. My life has changed and everything, but it feels like I should know this. It's kind of instinct for us. That was the same way I felt when I found out the world of the gods. The real world, not the mist world. Yeah. So, what's this school about near this summer camp? This school is where we can teach some of the older demigods that's staying there will teach us about the mythical world and still help us with our school studies. Most of the time, the weaker demigods can live outside, but the weaker demigods and demigoddesses will probably mostly go out when the summer ends in the summer camp. Every single kids that does not attract monsters will go out. Go out in the summer, after summer, and go to other schools, but those who really have a strong scent will just go to this school and stay in the summer camp cabins. They don't go home. Some of them are homeless kids and kids that's been abandoned by their parents. Some of them do have parents but want to protect them from the monsters. But some adults do get to live near the camp, so they can visit. It's only to the Mortals that can look in through the mist. Clear-sighted? Yes. Wait, how did you get that word? I don't know. Makes sense. They can see through the mist, so clear-sighted mortals? Huh. You actually got that right. Funny. Hey! I'm sorry. Anyways. But those who can't see through, like I said, it still gets... The kids can still visit them. I get it. But I think my mom, maybe... This is where Zelda interrupt them. Yes, Percy, your mom is clear-sighted. She knew about the gods and monsters. Mortals can know, but still can't see through the mist. Your mother, what I understand, can see through the mist. Okay. Yes, your mother can see through the mist. Okay. When are we arriving at the apartment? Well, we're there in about a minute. Oh. Percy looked outside and actually saw the neighborhood that his mom's lived in. Pulling up to the house and stop behind Escape's Camaro. Only two of them go out, this being Zelda and Percy. Right now, it's not morning, it's the middle afternoon. Sorry if you can hear me stop, I just have some problem. I don't know what I have, it's just weird right now, so I'm sorry if I stop. Give me a moment. Alright, I'm back. It's still a problem, and it's been a couple of days, and I'm so sorry that my videos take a while. Anyways, where were we last time? They were driving, and I think I said they arrive at Sally Jackson's house. Yeah, we're gonna pick up from there. When the car stops, and when the car went to the sides and stopped near the sidewalk, Percy opens the door on his side and walks out. Mrs. Uzumaki went out of the car and went up to Percy. Percy went up the stairs to the house. I think it's up the stairs, right? Anyways, he went up to the stairs to the house and to the apartment building and walked into the hallway. I think Percy's on the top floor. I don't remember. Percy went up to the top floor of the building where his apartment is with his mother and smelly Gabe. He went up and took the keys out and unlocked the door. He went in and saw, none of Gabe's friends there. But when he opens the door, he hears some, small yelling. But he recognized Gabe's voice. Percy looked in and walked quickly to the living room, seeing his mom and Gabe there. Gabe was yelling why the hell she was leaving, and Sally just said she was done with all of this and she just want to go away. Gabe yelled some more and raised his hand, but it was stopped by, well, Zelda. I think that is enough. I think that's enough. Please, don't hurt the young miss. Please, don't hurt. Sorry. Zelda grabs. I will do the scene over. Zelda grabs Gabe's arm and Gabe's look at Zelda. If you don't mind, I don't want you to hit Mrs. Jackson. Do you understand me? Who the hell are you, and why the hell did you get in my apartment? Ah, you don't know about me. Well, it doesn't matter. I am someone here to pick up Mrs. Jackson and take all of their personal belongings out of this house. Why are you little? Before Gabe can do anything, Zelda already had brought her arm up and just hit Gabe's neck, knocking him out. Well, that was easy. Oh. You must be Mrs. Uzumaki, or just call me Zelda, sweetheart. Yeah. Percy! Oh my god. Hello, Mom. What was that about? Well, Gabe got a little angry when I told him that I was leaving him. Oh, well, that makes sense. Yes, it does. So how was the last day of school for you, sweetheart? Well, I got yelled at, but I got to go. I got to go out of, well, the place. That sounds good. Now, is there a place we can go, Mrs. Uzumaki? Well, not yet. We still have to transfer the paperwork, and that will probably take a week. That will probably take a week for, well, Percy to go to that school. And it will probably take also a week to... Do you have some furniture here that's yours? No, we don't have a lot. This is all Gabe's stuff. I already packed all of our stuff. It's like only 3 suitcases. Do you have a place to stay for a week where me and the other 2 that's with me can protect you for a while? Yes, there is. We can go to Montauk. There's a cabin in Montauk that me and Percy will go to. We haven't been there in a while. Really? We can go there? Yes. Yes, we can, sweetheart. Yes, that sounds wonderful. Is it near to any beaches? Because I love tanning on the beach. Yes, there is, but there's not a lot of people around sometimes. Well, I will actually combine my... That sounds like a good idea. I will call up a good friend of mine. She's a really good doctor and lawyer. Really? Yes, she's in the law firm of all... She's actually the one that takes care of the camp's paperwork. She's pretty good at it. You don't say. I understand. Great. Now, come on. We have to go before he wakes up. Where's the suitcases? Right here. I put them in Gabe's study that turns in Percy's room when he comes back in breaks. I see. The 3 of them walks in and grabs the suitcase. They walk down to the car and put the suitcases in the back. Grover were told to go back sit in the back with Percy and Annabeth. Mrs. Jackson's or Sally sits in the front of the car. She tells where Zelda should go when they drove off from the house. After an hour of driving, they arrive at Montauk, or how long it takes. I don't really know how long. They arrive at these cabins at the beach. They drive up to a cabin where they could stay. Sally and Zelda went up to where they could rent the cabin. The kids stood by the car, and Annabeth asked Percy a question. So, why did your mom want to come here? This is where my mom met my dad. So, yeah, this is where they met. I see. It sounds lovely. It is. It's a good cabin. I really enjoy coming here. You're quite happy, I can tell you that. Yeah, I am. After 20 minutes, Sally and Zelda returns with the keys to the cabinet. They get another cabin with more rooms. Two free rooms in this cabin instead of the old one. This is where two rooms on the bottom, and then a big room on a big area where Percy and Grover can sleep on top of the rooms, and Sally and Zelda sleep in another, and Annabeth sleeps in a room for herself. They unpack for staying there a week. After some few hours, they went out to the beach and having some fun. Grover and Percy play some frisbees on the beach, throwing each other one. There was actually no people around, luckily enough, for them to be interrupted. So Grover has his, legs uncovered. Annabeth, Zelda, and Sally just sit at the beach just watching them. After some few minutes, they pull out. What the fuck? They play some more games around and everything until nighttime, where they set a campfire that night. Zelda and Sally has already gone to the cabin and just to have talk to each other. Where Percy and Annabeth sat with Grover. Give me a minute. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, never mind. Percy, Annabeth, and Grover sat around the campfire looking into, the fire. Percy thought about things and asked Annabeth a question. So, Annabeth, I've never asked, but how did you go to Camp Half-Blood? I never asked, but I'm kind of curious. Well, I was young when I ran away from home. My dad wasn't always with me, and my stepmother was not a great mother to me. Stepmother to me. I ran away and I've never looked back. I tried to go home once, but that failed horribly. I traveled with two people, a guy called Luke Castellane, or just Luke, and someone named Talia. Me and Luke arrived at the camp safely, but Talia got turned into a tree by her father. Who? Zeus. We were chased by monsters, and Grover was there with me, but he couldn't help much. We ran into, but Talia stayed behind and protected us. He created a strong barrier around the camp, but luckily Talia was removed by the tree. How? Wait, how? I thought that would be a consequence. It was, but you see, the camp's directors, or the four owners of the camp, they're old, like very, very old. Older than Zelda, even. How old are we talking, like, since the camp was created? I do not know how long. I do not know how long it took to be built, but when it was built, they built it. The whole camp for demigods. They're strong and knew how to remove her. So they did. I'm glad they did, because it proved something to the gods that she was not gonna be never mind. Okay. Who's she the daughter of? Zeus. Ah, Zeus. That makes sense. What are these four directors' names? Well, we can start with the oldest one, Kakashi Hatake. He's the grandson of Zeus. His father was the son, but he's the grandchild of Zeus. He is the teachers of the three others. But right now he's just teaching everyone about combat and stealth to the people that want to learn. He's a good sword fighter, one of the best, and a good, well, he likes to read. He's not smart as Miss Zelda, but he's still smart in combat. For what I have understand, he's been a captain before. Captain? You see, there's not a lot of known about. God damn. There's not a lot of known about the directors. The four of them, for what I've heard of this story, comes from a different world. A different world? Yes. One of them was even a prophecy child. But their world fell when a rogue minor goddess went rogue in their dimension and destroyed everything. The gods that, well, the gods that was there decided to send them to the other world, to our world. Luckily, all of them are related to a goddess or god. I see. Who's the next one? We can start with the doctor then. We can talk about the doctor. Or the doctor lawyer. Her name is Sakura Uchiha, also known as Sakura Haruno. She married? Yes, she married to one of the other one of the other counselors. She's the granddaughter of Demeter. She's the granddaughter of Demeter. She's a good doctor, good herbalist to make poison and antidotes. She's taught a lot to the Demeter kids and some of the other captains about healing, especially Apollo kids. Oh. How about the other one? The other one is Sasuke Uchiha. Yes, Sakura is married to him. He's the son of Hades and Persephone. Wait, a son of Hades and Persephone? Yes, he's not a god, he's a demigod. You see, the gods could visit the world and retain half of their immortal power, so they can be called a demigod in that world. It will prophesize that Hades and Persephone will fall in love again in the other world and produce 2 children. Sasuke was one of them, becoming a demigod by 2 gods. The older brother died though. I see. What's he good at? He's good at information gathering and traveling around and survival skills. He has done a lot of bad things. But that happens a lot in, the Hades blood. That happens a lot in Hades children. But he's a good plant. He's actually good. He loves planting and everything. He's a good sword fighter and weapons combat and hand-to-hand combat. He's a good teacher. The last one, that is Naruto Uzumaki. He's actually the strongest of all the 4. Huh, why? Well, I can answer that, Percy. They turn around to see Zelda sitting down beside Annabeth. You can? Yes, Naruto Uzumaki is my husband. Right, same name. Yes. Naruto is special because he holds creatures from the other world that the gods didn't want to get rid of. The creatures are called Biju, or tail beasts. They're strong as, the strongest is strong as Typhon, the king of monsters. But he won't fight. My husband is the son of Hephaestus and Aphrodite. Wait. That Hephaestus and Aphrodite. Yes, that. The prophecy was foretold that both of them will fall in love in different body without even knowing each other. They fell in love with two different characters. Minato Namikaze, Hephaestus, became the goddamn Hokage, or the leader of a village. Kushino Uzumaki was Aphrodite in, well, another form. A lot of people forget that God has to, well, experience all the traits of their domains. A lot of people forget about that. So, wait, all gods? Yes, all gods. Even Hestia, Artemis, and Athena is not immune to this. I see. So, what did... Wait, you said all gods. Yes, like Ares. He's the god of war. He starts wars and ends wars. He's lost some wars. But he also has the weaker wars. Like just conflicts that didn't go anywhere. Not a blown out wars. And if we consider Hephaestus, my husband's father, he has failed of being a smith and everything else. But Aphrodite didn't experience everything about love, lust, and everything. Oh. So, what does that mean? A lot of children I explain this to say the same thing. Aphrodite has to experience everything, and at that point in time, she did, except one thing. She felt the love of her children, love of a lover, love of a boyfriend, and everything else, but a love of a husband that she didn't love back. But when she came into that world as Kushino Uzumaki, she felt that love from her husband and lust of a husband. A lot of things is weird by the god. The gods are weird, Percy. They have to do a lot of things and do a lot of stuff. I'm explaining this to you so you can get more ease into the world. I get it. So, when do we go to Camp Half-Blood? Well, when specifically? It will take a week to go. Well, we have to stay here for a week. We have to transfer the papers to Aldrea. Wait, what? No, that's My Hero Academia. Shit. Did I say the wrong school by accident? Oh god, I think I did. Oh shit, that's my fault. Oh god, I forgot about the school's name. Anyways, when the paper is transferred to the demigod's school, they will go there. Your mother will also come with, but be staying in somewhere else, where parents, that is, can see through the mist is staying. They are allowed to go into the camp to help other children. Yeah, you kind of explained that to me. Yes. Now, you better get some sleep. There's a lot more things we can do here. Yes, Miss Zelda. A week passed since Percy arrived at the cabin. A lot of things has been explained to him, and a lot of things that Miss Zelda has taught him has stuck in his mind. Miss Zelda taught him how to fight with a sword. The pen that the pen that he was given, he was trained by Miss Zelda. She is a good swords woman, but not a master of it. She's good, not a master. Percy found out the name of the sword, called Riptide. He thought it sounded like a weird name, but he didn't care. Shit. He got a lot to... Miss Zelda also taught him a lot about the language and some of more history he needs to know. She taught that the camp was built by the four leaders of the camp for as long as the camp existed. Because Zelda was 200 years old and she married her husband Uzumaki Naruto, she became sort of immortal. If Naruto dies, Zelda dies. He also found out that Kakashi also had a wife, a leader of... I'll explain that later. But she was over 500 years old. Naruto was the last one to, get a wife, as he understood it. That was something he needed to learn. He also learned that gods can give out quests, but because of a quest that failed over, 2 years ago, there hasn't been a lot of quests in the camp, but outside there has been a couple. Percy has packed his things with Grover and Annabeth and put it in the car. They were leaving this morning to the camp, or the camp place, so they can go to the big house, as they called the house. Percy sat down and, sat on the right side, Grover, Annabeth in the middle, and Grover on the left. It took a couple of, probably an hour to get to, Camp Blood Hill, what else it's called, I've forgotten. Sorry, I had to cut there. They arrived at the Camp Blood Hill, where the barrier started. Percy looked around, but saw a strawberry field, behind the hill, and didn't see anything else. He saw a sign behind telling them, Strawberry Fields Camp. He thought it was a weird-ass name, but he didn't know why. He just thought it was a stupid name. Before they arrive at, where the road goes around the hill, they goes to another road. They drive around 5 minutes before they comes to a, area where they can see houses near the camp. Percy looked and asked, "What is that place?" "This is where some of the parents lives. There's a barrier around where they can go in and just where we can get a house to them so they can live. They can get a job elsewhere and everything. But don't worry, it's harmless. Nothing's gonna happen to the people." "I see. So no monsters has been in there for hundreds and hundreds of years." "Now, Mrs. Jackson." "Yes, I should get my bags." "Yes, and I will just... never mind, she's coming right up." Percy looked out of the window to see a woman walking up with pink hair fucking pink? Percy has no idea what the fuck that was. How can a woman have pink hair? Mrs. Uzumaki and Mrs. Jackson steps out of the car, Percy jumping out as well, just to get out of the car and stretch his legs. The woman walked up to Zelda and hugged her. It's good to see you again, Zelda. It's been a couple of months since you've been back here. I know, and it's lovely to see you again, Sakura. It has. Now you must be Miss Jackson, am I correct? Yes, I'm Sally Jackson. This is my son, Percy Jackson. Percy walked up to the side of his mother and looked at the woman. Ah, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you, Percy. How do you have pink hair? Sally immediately turns to Percy to scold her, but she hears laughing from Sakura. Oh, I get that a lot from kids. It's a genetic from my parents. My dad has this wild pink hair that looks like a petal or leaf. She got that from her. I got that from Grandma. Well, he got it, and I got it after. I see. Now then, we have our house ready for you, Miss Jackson. Just follow this little metal cat here. She points down to the ground and they see a cat that has two tails. Sally looks weird at it and looks back to Sakura. Does it have two tails? Ah, yes. This is one of the 9, let's say, controlled beasts that's around camp in this place. Even though the camp has some dangerous things, the parents is very protected by these animate, or what else you will call it. It goes parent to parent. I see. So it's she. This is a female. Ah, she will bring me to my home? Yes. She will be very careful. Do you have some movers? I didn't have a lot in my previous home. Ah, yes, the divorce. I will get that ready for you, don't worry. Thank you. No problem. Now, Sally went to the back and to grab her suitcase. She went back to where the others stood and kissed Percy on his forehead, telling him good luck and she will be nearby. Oh, remember to take your son's suitcase. It may be best if he stays near you for the time being. Shouldn't he stay at the camp? Yes, but those are kind of... It doesn't really matter who you get. He can stay at the house or the cabin. But right now, he is unclaimed, so it's better for him to stay with his parents. I see. Percy went to the back and went through the trunk and opens to grab his suitcase and give it to his mother. Just follow her and you'll be right at your house. Now we have to go to the big house. That will take around 7 minutes, so we will take the car. Sakura walked to the car and Zelda went to the front seat and sat down. Sakura sat down and the others went with. Percy hugged his mother and said goodbye. He sat in the same spot and they drove off. Sally watched them and smiled and then followed the cat. After 7 minutes, they arrive at the camp, into the camp, and drove up to the big house. Percy saw 4 cars. I will describe the cars later. I will describe what cars they have. I think the Percy Jackson series starts in 2005. They drove up to the big house and parked near the other cars. All of them went out and went up to the in front of the house. They see a table with 3 men sitting on it. They see a man in a wheelchair with a cover over his legs. He has brown fitting hair with a really good with fitting beard as well. When they got nearer, Percy smelled what he smelled like. It's nothing weird. He smelled like coffee. The other guy has a what was the shirt again? He has a tiger pattern shirt on him with a Coca-Cola Coca-Cola. Oh, Diet Coke. It was Diet Coke, not Coca-Cola Zero. Yeah, it is Diet Coke. And not Coca-Cola Zero. Sorry. They went over and he saw the man with checkered. This man with you know how to describe him. I'm not gonna say it again. But he smelled like fresh grapes. The other man had blonde hair and 3 whisker marks on his face. He had this orange jacket on him with black pants with a sort of pouch on his leg with bandages around it. It seems like the man that the third man he just described, had won the game when the brown-haired man with the brown-haired man with fitting hair turned around. Ah, Zelda, it's good to see you again, my dear. Chiron? The man with the yellow hair turned around and smiled and stood up. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you again as well, Naruto. Both of them went up and kissed each other. Percy recognized the name. This is one of the leaders, the original creators of Camp Half-Blood. The man sat down and Zelda sat next to him. The other man looked at him and just sneered. Oh, great, another one. Yoop-de-doo. Naruto turned to the other man. Be quiet, okay? Alright, but I just said it. You're annoying. Hey. I take offense to that. I don't. Shut up. Anyways. You must be Percy Jackson. My name is Chiron, the trainer of heroes. Wait, that Chiron? Yes, that Chiron. Nice to meet you as well. Indeed it is. And that over there that's drinking the Diet Coke is Mr. D. Mr. D? Oh, here we go. Tiger stripe. Tiger pattern. Smells like grape. Starts with Mr. Are you a god? Not a dumb one. So, you're... Percy, you don't really say the name of gods and goddesses in front of you. Okay. Anyway, sit down. You must be integrated here. You must be introduced here. He sat down and looked at, well, Chiron. Ah, no, I'm not the one that needs to talk to you. It's Naruto over here. He's the person that always introduced the children to this kind of life. Percy turned around to Naruto and he smiled. Yes, that is it. Hello, Percy. You might know me as Naruto Uzumaki. I am Zelda's husband and one of the leaders here in this camp. Yeah, I got explained that. Good. Now, how much do you know? I know I'm a demigod and there's a mist sort of thing. I know the story of you four, but not all of it. And I was told a little bit more history of Greek mythology and a little sword fighting. And I didn't get anything else. That is not a lot, but we can work with it. Now, a couple of things before we do things. You are a demigod. That means you can sleep. If you have a parent that is clear-sighted, you can go down to the houses where the parents sleep and live with your mother. But when the camp starts in the summer, if you haven't been claimed yet, you will sleep in the Hermes cabin. He's allowing the demigods that hasn't been claimed by all the other gods to sleep in his cabin. Luckily, there's not a lot in the Hermes cabin, but in the summer there will be a little more fill. It hasn't been a huge problem since we have, convinced the other gods to let the minor gods have some cabins. I see. Is there anything more? Yes, so because we are not in the summer times, you will go to a school that will be run down at the houses where the parents are. Some of them are teachers, some of them are creators, and some of them just help the school for the demigods. A lot of the demigods that has been living outside the world come here to work and help the other demigods how to do things and how to not insinuate there's another world. You understand, right? I can, yes. Good. But if you get claimed during next week, a month from now, before camp starts, you can sleep in that cabin or sleep in the house. But if the summer term starts, you can go visit your mother or father, but you cannot sleep at the house. You can sleep one. If you can't make it back to the camp, that's allowed. But you have to sleep in the cabin of your godly parent. You understand me? Yes, I understand. Good. So in the winter, after summer and before summer, there's some sort of challenges every end of the week sort of thing. But in the summers, there's something called Capture the Flag, where you can go around and capture. It's a sort of simulation for battle. You understand? Yeah, I understand. Good. Now, we will get someone to tour you around the place and everything else. So be ready for that. And yeah, do we have anyone right now that can show Percy around? Grover. By the way, Grover, you and Miss D are going to talk about how you evaluate this. Your duty as a protector. You understand? Yes, sir. Good. Now, let's see. Give me a moment. Naruto stood up and walked to the edge to look down at the field and spotted someone. Ah! Talia, can you come up here? Percy heard that name and knew that was Annabeth's friend or older sister type. Percy heard someone coming up to the house, and then he saw Talia. Talia was a maybe 19-year-old, 18-year-old girl. She was 19 or 18 years old at that. I think that point in time she's 19 to 18, right? Right? She's that old, if you understand me. Coming up to the stairs and standing in front of Naruto. Yeah, what do you need? Ah, good. Talia, this is Percy Jackson. I want you and Annabeth to show him around the camp. He will, of course, be down at the school to be taught and everything before the summer camp. You understand me? Yeah, I understand. Good. Now, Percy, follow Annabeth and Talia. They will show you around. Understand everything here, and yeah, that's it. Go ahead. Okay. Percy stood up with Annabeth and walked to Talia. Talia went over and hugged Annabeth, saying it's good to see her again after a couple of weeks away, or months. All three of them walks off the patio and down to the camp. So, like the others, welcome to Camp Half-Blood. Or, if none of them has said it, they forget it a lot of times. Yeah, thank you. Now, I'm Talia. I'm the daughter of Zeus, and... yeah, and Annabeth's older sister, kind. So, what do you want to start with? What do you... just show me around. I don't know what to start with. Alright then. So, down here, from here you can see the cabinets, right? The first 12 and some more behind them. Yeah, I can see them. The smaller cabinets are the minor gods. The 12 that's in front are the other gods. The other gods and everything. Yeah, I can see that. Does every god get their... well, the minor gods actually does it a lot. If you're a minor god's child, probably a month or a week, the 12 Olympians doesn't do that a lot of times. Really? Yeah, a lot of Hermes kids are not Hermes' kids. A lot of times they're just children of the other 12. It's sad, but it's the point. Anyways, to a little bit away, you can see the amphitheater where we have sing-along at night. If you want to go to it, you can hang out with people, and we have the dining hall over. If you can find a map, you can use that. I don't really care what map it is. It can just be a map. I don't care. Talia and Annabeth shows Percy around the camp, showing the amphitheater, the climbing wall, they show the forest, the horse pen area. They show the horse pen area and everything else. After some few moments, they arrive at the cabinets. So, this is all the cabinets you will. The 12 is the more the children. So the first one is my cabinet, the Zeus cabinet. Is the second one is Hera's. The third one over there is Poseidon. I think that's correct. Number 4. Cabin 4 is... So I don't remember every cabinet's number. I know that Hermes is number 11. Cabin 11 is Hermes' cabin. And never mind. I don't remember all of them. I need to read Percy Jackson again. Talia explains all the cabinets when they go over to the Hermes cabin. So this is where you're gonna stay for a couple of days. If you don't get claimed yet, you're gonna stay in here in the summer camp. Well, in the Hermes cabinet. I see. Yeah, and everything. Yes, and there are gonna be some. If you're gonna have problems, don't mess with the Aries kids. I see. Talia walks up to the door, and before she can knock, a person walks out. It was tall. Okay, I got it correct. Never mind. Percy sees this blonde-haired guy with a scar on his right side of his face. Right side of his, face. Coming out of the cabin. Talia stops and looks at the person. Annabeth also does, and the person looks at Talia and then at Annabeth and smiled. Ah, it's good to see you again, Annabeth. It's been a while. Hello, Luke. Yeah, it's been a while. Hello, Luke. Talia. Percy leans closer to Annabeth. Do they have problems or something? Because there's kind of problem here. It's a private matter. Okay. Luke turned to Percy and smiled. Ah, you must be a new camper. I'm Luke Castellan, and this is the Hermes cabin. Hermes cabin. Do you have a? I have a mom that's clear-sighted. Ah, so she must be at the houses. Yeah, she is. Ah, that's great. So, are you claimed or not? I'm not claimed yet. Ah, well, I will show you the cabinet if you're not claimed before the summer arrive. Got it? Yeah, good. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go somewhere. Luke went off the porch walks off to somewhere Percy doesn't know. Talia says, "Yeah, this was the Hermes cabinet. You can look inside. There's a few kids in there. A lot of them are thieves or pranksters, so be wary of them." Percy looks in the cabinet and sees there's a lot of beds in there and some kids staying in there. Percy nods at this and walks down the Hermes cabinet with the others. When Percy asks a question, "So, I know that Annabeth told me that you and Luke were with her, comes to Camp Half-Blood. So why are you two, well, staring at each other like you want to kill him? Well, that is kind of, you see, after we arrived at the camp, and around 2 years ago, I dated Luke for a little while. You did? Yeah, it was a sort of thing I did with. It was only for 6 months before his quest. After he returned back, he changed a lot, and I tried to help him, but he pushed me away. We got in a fight that went awful. And I couldn't see Luke that I knew for a long time. Okay. I'm not gonna go into that. So, where should we start? Is there more, or should we go to... Talia smiled and said, well, we should go to the big house. You need a lot more information than that I gave you. Yeah, okay. Percy walks with Talia and Annabeth up to the big house. And this is where I'm gonna end the episode off. I know I've changed a lot with the whole purpose of the children. The whole purpose of that the gods is ignoring their kids. Some of them are, by the way. But you probably are gonna be mad that I changed that there's cabinets for the minor gods. But that will make sense if Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and not Itachi, if Kakashi was there. They will be old as the camp for the children. And they will have changed, like, the minor gods has cabinets as well. Instead of the gods creating the camp, it's those four that created the camp for the demigods. So they have more authorities there. And yes, Dionysus is gonna be here because he's still gonna get punished. He's getting punished by staying near the demigod's children and everything else. Now, why did I make Talia like she's not... I'm sorry if it got quiet there. Why did I make Talia not stuck in a tree? Why the fuck is she's gonna be stuck in a tree where there's 4 people that can just pull her out? And the relationship between Luke and Talia is gonna be not the whole point of it, but a big factor of the animosity between Talia and Luke. You know why Luke is angry, but because of Talia being older, she's and those two have dated, there gonna be some tension between them. And the metal cat with 2 tails is the 2 tails beast, by the way. I've just forgotten her name. So the robots that I said that was there are Amaton. That's hard to say for me. There is 9 of them around the camp and the buildings for the parents that can see through the mist. Why I made like they gonna stay with their children. Again, Naruto and Sasuke and Kakashi help with that. Sakura as well. Because why the fuck would they do that to the kids? But there's still gonna be some problem, like I said. There's still gonna be animosity in the story. So, yeah, I know this video is not good. It's not one of the best things I had. I need to read the story again of Percy Jackson. So I hope you enjoyed this part of the series. I know it's not my best again, but I hope you will enjoy it. And I hope you will just enjoy. Just enjoy the video as much as you can. So good morning, goodbye, farewell, see you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Bye bye, my mask. What the fuck did I say?